UFC Baku Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree just ended, and this is going to be my full card post-fight. And what a banger fight night card it was. I know people were saying I was wrong when I said, look, June isn't that good. I mean, we had two decent cards on paper, and this card did not deliver. But we'll talk about that more towards the end of the video. Let's just jump into it. We are going to discuss every single fight on the card. If you guys enjoy these post-fights, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and like the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's just jump into the people's main event. Hamdy Abdelwahab versus Mohammed Usman. Mohammed Usman wins via unanimous decision. NPC versus NPC. Hamdy came out early throwing like heavy leg kicks, then stopped. He stumbled him a little with the first leg kick that he threw, and then was kind of tagging him a bit on the feet. Usman was like falling throughout the fight every time he got touched with a shot. I don't know if it was klutziness, balance, what it was. I thought Hamdy took the first round. Second round, Usman got eye poked early, and then right after that landed a big right hand that rocked Hamdy. So I gave Usman the second round. There really wasn't a whole lot in the second round to score. Then the third round was pretty competitive. I thought Hamdy was out in front of Usman, was landing some good leg kicks, was getting jabbed up a little bit, but Usman was getting tagged a little bit and falling all over the cage, and some of the shots weren't super clean, but I was like, you know what? I think Hamdy's winning this round. And then at the tail end, it was already a close round, but I thought Hamdy was just out ahead. Usman hits him with a big shot and then has like a crazy late flurry, and I just thought, okay, as close as this round was, Usman steals the round. So it's 2-1 Usman. I mean, this just goes to show the low level that heavyweight in the UFC truly is. And yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of a shit performance from both guys. But Usman gets it done. He gets it done with his striking. Tried to initiate grappling a couple times. Really wasn't able to do anything with it. All those muscles for nothing. Wasn't able to get a takedown. But he wins via unanimous decision. Next fight on the card, we have Tagir. Why did this website just jump to that fight? We have Tagir Ulanbekov versus Azat Maksum. Close fight. Competitive fight. Tagir wins via unanimous decision. I think two judges had it 30-27. One judge had it 29-28. People were complaining about the 30-27s. I think you would maybe barely give the third round to Azat. But I don't think it's like criminal to give it to Tagir. Basically, it was primarily a striking match. Azat, I think, was the only one with actual takedowns. Yeah, you can even actually look. I mean, the stats don't mean anything, but I think this is actually accurate. There was 3 takedowns from Azat. He really didn't do much with it. First round, Tagir shot a double leg. Looked like it was going to be deep. Wasn't able to get it. Even tried to pick him up a couple times. Maksum was able to keep it standing. But Tagir was just landing the better shots. Was tagging him on the feet. Landing a good right hand. Landed a good head kick in the first round, towards the end of the first round as well. Thought the first round was close, but I thought it was pretty clearly Tagir. And then the second round, similar to the first round, Tagir was landing that same right hand over and over and over again. Azat was defending a couple takedowns from Tagir. And there was the moment where Azat reversed position, ended up taking Tagir's back up against the fence, tried to take Tagir down. Tagir grabbed the fence, but let it go mid-takedown and got taken down anyway. And you guys know me. I'm always complaining about fouls. I hate fouls. I want more point deductions for fouls. But the commentary team was like on about it. Like, oh, he grabbed the fence. He got taken down anyway. They were acting like it changed the outcome of the fight. It did not change the outcome of the fight at all. He got taken down. He got right back up. And then at the end of the second round, got taken down again, but this time he was looking for a guillotine. I had second round for Tagir. And then the third round was a great round, back and forth, both guys landing. I thought Tagir was maybe slightly out ahead, maybe just barely. But then Azat started coming on strong in like the last 30 seconds and then also got 2 takedowns. So I thought maybe you could edge it for Azat. So I had a 29-28 for Tagir Ulanbekov. Great fight. I said in my prediction video, my prediction video for this week, I said Azat's underrated. It wouldn't shock me if he won this fight. I'm actually shocked that he didn't win. If you would have told me Azat wins the majority of the grappling exchanges, I would have said, oh, Azat definitely wins because Azat's the better striker. So I think Tagir's grappling is a little bit overrated, but his striking was really good in this fight. That right hand was really good in this fight. And I think both guys are legitimate prospects in the flyweight division. And I really don't think Maksum's stock goes down at all for losing a very close competitive fight to Tagir Ulanbekov, who I believe is like ranked number 12 going into this fight. Great fight. Tagir won. Unanimous decision. Next fight on the card. Irina Alekseeva versus Klaudia Syguła. What am I supposed to say about this fight? What am I supposed to say about this fight other than scratch my ear because my ear's itching? Alekseeva rushed forward, throwing kind of big shots that never really landed. Never really tried to grapple until the third round, and she got out-grappled there. She was getting busted up. Syguła was clearly the better kickboxer. The only thing I can say is Alekseeva can take a couple shots to the puss because there was 2 groin shots from Syguła. I believe it was one in the first round, one in the second, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. Garbage fight. Both of them super low level. Alekseeva, never want to see her fight again with a little mop head. I mean, how do you not even try to mix in the grappling early when you know Klaudia Syguła doesn't have good grappling? But instead, she's the better kickboxer, and you're just going to strike with the entire fight. Syguła was tagging her up on the feet, busted her up, had her bloodied up. Alekseeva finally decided the third round, I've had enough. I'm going to try to mix in the grappling, and she initiates the clinch, and Syguła ends up taking her down and beating her up on the ground. So Alekseeva, time to get rid of her from the UFC. And Klaudia Syguła gets it done via unanimous decision. Not really a whole lot to say about that fight. Next fight on the card. Daria Zheleznyakova versus Melissa Mullins. Daria Zheleznyakova wins via unanimous decision. I mean, basically outstruck her the entire fight. Was tagging her with big shots early. Mullins got a takedown late in the first round. I think also was late in the third round. I think, or no, late in the second round as well. But she was already too late. She already lost those rounds. And then in the third round, I think it was Mullins looking for a takedown, and I think there was a fence grab from Zheleznyakova in the third round, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, all 3 rounds go to Daria Zheleznyakova. Maybe the third round you could give to Mullins. I wouldn't. And basically, she wasn't able to do much with the grappling, and she was getting tagged on the feet. It was a little bit back and forth. It wasn't like a blowout. Daria got beat up and was bleeding from her face because she was eating shots from Mullins. But Mullins just couldn't get the grappling going earlier in any of the rounds, which maybe she could have won that way because Zheleznyakova has horrible grappling and wrestling. And basically, Zheleznyakova just did more damage on the feet and won the fight. So Zheleznyakova gets it done via unanimous decision. What do I say about this fight? I don't know. That's it. That's all I have. I mean, this is low-level women's MMA. And this card really wasn't good at all. Next fight. Ismail Naurdiev versus Yong Park. Talk about a fucking clown show. Talk about the Three Stooges. We're going to get to that second round in a second. We're going to get to the second round in a second. I mean, we had the Three Stooges out there. Anyway, Ismail Naurdiev is literally just tagging him on the feet. Wins the first round pretty clearly. I poked him once in the first round. That's relevant for the second round. And Naurdiev looks like he's going to win. I think he even maybe got a takedown towards the end of the first round, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, Naurdiev wins the first round. Second round, Naurdiev's winning on the feet again. Throws like a jumping knee to the body. Kind of hurts Park a little bit. Park ends up going to the ground. Is on the ground on one knee up against the fence. Posted up on a hand as well. And Naurdiev throws a brutal knee to a grounded opponent. Not only does he do that, and keep in mind, you know, this wasn't like, oh, it was up, down. I mean, it was a little bit up, down before that. But he was on a knee and also posted on a hand. Park falls back. The referee jumps in. Naurdiev runs and starts celebrating. Okay? So it might be the Four Stooges. Naurdiev being one of them as well. So you have Naurdiev celebrating while the referee's calling a timeout. Park is busted up on the eye that he got kneed in. I believe it was his left eye, if I'm not mistaken. He falls backwards. Then Naurdiev realizes, oh shit, this is just a timeout. He sits off in his corner. That's when just the chaos ensues. You have a doctor that barely speaks English. You have a referee that barely speaks English, which actually it doesn't even matter. I'm saying it that certain way, but Yong Park doesn't speak the language they speak. Okay, this is what I really mean. It's not even about English. So you have the doctor, the referee don't speak Yong Park's language. Then you have Park talking to his cornerman, and then you have the referee doesn't really know what to do, so he's consulting with that absolute clown Herb Dean. And basically what you have is you have people from outside the cage shouting instructions to people inside the cage. I believe there was another doctor outside the cage. And then he's saying, well, check his eye. Check his eye. Cover his other eye and then see if he can see. And then he's not listening. The doctor's not listening. So finally the referee literally like grabs his wrist and like puts it up on Park's eye, covers up the good eye, and says, "Can you see?" He's got to talk to his translator. His translator says, "No, he can't see." The doctor then goes, "You're good," and walks away. And then the referee's like, "Oh, okay, I don't know what to do." And then he goes over to Herb. He covers up his mic, but we still hear what he's saying. He's like, "Well, because of the cut, I'm going to have to take 2 points." And Herb's like, "You got to do what you got to do. Just do what you got to do. You know, it's regardless of whether it's cut or not, blah, blah, blah. Just do what you got to do." And so then the referee proceeds to take 2 points from Ismail Naurdiev. Jung Park clearly didn't want to continue because he couldn't see out of his eye, couldn't open his eye. But I guess they're like, "Oh, well, screw it. You're not Cody bummed it, so we're not going to give you a DQ win here," because honestly, it should have been a DQ. It was so blatant. I don't think he intentionally cheated, but it was so dumb, and it was so like you should have known that you shouldn't have thrown that technique there, that it should have been a DQ. Plus the eye poke previously. Anyway, he takes 2 points from Naurdiev, and he restarts the fight. And I'm thinking, you know what? Naurdiev might win this fight because he won the first round. He was winning the second round. So even if he loses the second round technically because of the point deductions, if he wins the second round before the point deductions, it's even going into third. So whoever wins the third wins the fight. I don't remember what the scorecards ended up being. And then when they restart the fight, Ismail Naurdiev is kind of deflated a bit. He's mixing in the grappling. He's landing some shots. He's winning like the first 2 minutes after the fight starts back up. Then Jung Park starts to take over a bit and gets the grappling going and takes his back for a bit and beats him up and starts looking for a rear naked choke. Naurdiev did that immediately after the fight started back up. He was able to get a takedown on Park, started looking for a rear naked, but then Park got back up and eventually got Naurdiev down, got his back, beat him up a little bit. Thought the second round was razor close, but I thought you'd still give it to Jung Park. Therefore, making it impossible for Naurdiev to win now that he lost the second round, because if he loses the second round, he's basically down 3 points on that round. Because 10-9 Park would then be 10-7 Park, so it doesn't matter even if Naurdiev were to win the first and second round, obviously excluding a 10-8, you would basically have Park winning one round, losing the other two in this hypothetical scenario, and still winning the fight. But third round doesn't matter because Naurdiev basically quit. I mean, it was Park just taking him down, dominating him on the ground. Naurdiev straight up quit, just wilted. I mean, you could just see him quitting in the cage, easily taken down, controlled, beaten up. Nothing crazy was done. I thought Park might find a finish, surely based on the fact from Naurdiev's body language, you could see he was quitting. But what a clown show. It should have never been started back up. It should have been a DQ for Naurdiev should have been DQ'd and Park should have won. But ultimately, the right guy won. Jung Park gets it done. I don't remember what the scorecards were, but either way, Jung Park gets it done via unanimous decision. It's crazy because I don't know how this fight would have played out without that illegal shot. Maybe Naurdiev doesn't have that adrenaline dump, but either way, he's an idiot. Should have never thrown that illegal knee, and Jung Park gets it done. Next fight on the card. The featured prelim, my favorite fight of the night. Syguła versus Oban Elliott, the Welsh puss. Not the Welsh gangster. This dude got dominated. He's spending too much time on Twitter. Syguła literally walked up to Oban Elliott in the very first round, said, "We ain't on Twitter now. We ain't on Twitter now." I mean, Elliott got dominated. You would have thought you would have thought he was owed a debt from Oban Elliott because he was taking his lunch money. I mean, first round, was out striking him. Oban tried to grapple and got ragdolled and controlled and beaten up. And Oban got back to his feet and then got beaten up more on the feet. Second round, beautiful exchange where Oban's getting beat up on the feet, shoots for a takedown, gets sprawled. And then Syguła literally takes his back, starts beating him up, looking for a rear naked choke, would get up, would get taken right back down. Controlled, had nothing to offer in the second round. And then the third round was even worse than the second round. Literally in the third round, Syguła dominated Oban Elliott. Took him down, tripped him, beat him up. He would work his way back up, get taken right back down. Ended up getting full mounted at one point, beaten up. Good ground and pound from Ko. It's just, Ko was essentially beating him in all the scrambles. Every time Oban Elliott would scramble out and try to get back to his feet, Ko would just be in a better positional, in a better position to be able to get that positional control and just dominate Elliott. And he was throwing good ground and pound, and then Elliott would try to scramble up, and boom, he would control him more. Elliott just, he got exposed a bit here. I think he's spending too much time on Twitter, spending too much time talking shit to YouTubers. And really, he should be focusing on his career instead. And it showed tonight. I mean, he probably thought, oh, I'm gonna beat Ko. I'm gonna out-grapple him. I got the better skills. I beat Basil Hafez. So I'm gonna beat Seokhyeon Ko. And instead, he gets absolutely dominated, viciously beat up on the ground. Third round, he ate a nasty elbow that cut him open bad. He was bleeding everywhere. And then basically to add insult to injury, he was in like the 69 position to end the fight, looking for a pathetic reverse triangle that never even came close to getting it. And Seokhyeon Ko was like, no. So yeah, I mean, nobody really expected that. Oban Elliott came into the fight like a massive favorite. Everybody thought he was going to win. Let me actually go look at Tapology and see what the pick percentages were. I bet you 90% picked Oban Elliott. 93% picked Oban Elliott. He was a negative 485 favorite according to Tapology, and he got beaten badly. I mean, the only way he could have got beaten any worse is if he would have got finished. And if he would have stepped in the cage with me, I would have brutalized him and dominated him, but I also would have finished him. Okay. So Ko got it done. Ko really impressed me. I did not think his grappling was that good. I did not think his striking was that good. We knew his striking was his strong suit, but he showed himself tonight as a well-rounded mixed martial artist. But at the end of the day, it's against Oban Elliott, who hasn't really beaten anyone good. So we really have to see how good Ko actually is. But he gets it done, unanimous decision over Oban Elliott. Next fight on the card. Opening up the main card, we had Mohammed Naimov versus Bogdan Grad. Bogdan Grad came out throwing like heavy low kicks early, then got clipped with a spinning heel kick that hurt him bad. Got a takedown, but Naimov was able to work back up and then really never went after him. Really was like basically helping Grad afterwards, clinching up with him and holding him there. I mean, Naimov was tagging him on the feet, but just didn't have any urgency in that first round. And then Bogdan was kind of just clinching up, not really doing much there. I had Naimov taking the first round. Second round was dog shit. Really nothing happened at all. They were both just staring at each other for the most part. And I just barely scored it for Grad. I thought he just landed a little bit better shots. There wasn't much grappling. And I thought Bogdan won the second round. And then the third round, Bogdan was able to get a takedown and took his back for a little bit, but then got reversed and ended up on bottom. Like Naimov just shook him off and ended up in full guard. And then Naimov was able to do some damage. And you had Bogdan Grad throwing up like a triangle choke, but Naimov was able to avoid that. Not really much happened in the third round, but Naimov on top, controlling him, beating him up a little bit. On the feet, Bogdan Grad wasn't able to do much. So I had 29-28. I think that's what the judges had it as well, maybe 30-27. But either way, it was a kind of an underwhelming fight. Another decision on the card. At this point, every fight was a decision up until this point. Every fight was a decision up until this point. That's crazy. We got 2 finishes on the whole card. Now, finishes don't always indicate exciting fights, but that is insane. So we got another decision. Naimov was able to beat up Bogdan Grad and get it done. And really an uninspiring, unimpressive performance. I'm trying to think if Naimov cheated at all in this fight. I can't remember. So I'm not sure that he did. I don't think that he did because he's known for his cheating. But he gets it done via decision. Next fight on the card, the very first finish on the card, was Nazim Sadykhov versus Nicholas Amota. Nazim Sadykhov gets it done via second round TKO. Crazy, wild fight. I think they got all the bonus money from my understanding. They both got $100K each because the card was dog shit. Nazim was winning early, landing good shots. Mota was kind of chopping the legs a little bit. Then Mota started going to the body. He ripped like 2 good shots to the body. Nazim started backing up, and Mota started just throwing a flurry of shots. Now, I think people were overhyping it a bit because the majority of the shots didn't land. They landed on the forearms. But then he started ripping to the body a little bit, and Nazim kind of dropped. I don't know if he was actually hurt from the combinations, but it was like he was tagging him a little bit to the body, and then he kind of went down. I don't know if he was kind of like trying to, drop his block and kind of lost balance or what, but it seemed like he was hurt. Seemed like he was hurt in the first round. But then, as soon as he got back up, the ref was kind of looking close. As soon as he got back up, Nazim then started deciding to throw back. Mota was able to throw some more combinations again. So he's throwing these combinations up against the fence, drops him. Sadykhov gets back up. Mota throws the same combinations, but majority of them are being blocked. Then Nazim starts throwing back, hurts him, backs him up, does the same thing to him, starts ripping his body up against the fence, destroying him up against the fence. Then there was a little bit more striking and clinch work to end the round. I thought Sadykhov probably won, but I don't know, man. If he was actually hurt and got dropped from that exchange in the pocket, I would score it for Mota. I would have to go back and check that out. Luckily, it doesn't matter because in the second round, Moda striking with him, gets caught with a big standing elbow, cuts him open, starts, sticking his tongue out like, oh, you got me, but I'm going to keep fighting. And then basically it seemed like Moda was starting to slow down. There was crazy exchanges. They were coming in close, like crashing their guards together. And then one of them would rip body, head. And then the other one would do the same thing, rip right afterwards. They were like crashing their guards into each other and then throwing those combinations. It was crazy. But then eventually Sadykhov just clips him, backs him up against the fence and clips him with a nasty right hand. And it puts Moda down badly. And then he gets smashed on the ground with like 2 follow-up shots. And then the referee jumps in. Perfect stoppage. I'll tell you one thing. Moda looked in excellent shape like he's on PEDs. Cardio clearly started to wane a little bit. But, you expect that from a crazy output. I honestly was worried a bit in the first round the ref was going to stop it, even though the majority of the shots from Moda were landing on the forearms of Sadykhov. But, man, crazy finish from Sadykhov. He says he wasn't losing in Baku. And, man, it was a great finish. It was a crazy finish. These guys actually deserve all the bonus money they're getting. I'm happy for them. Great fight. Now, where does this put Sadykhov? I don't know. Nicholas Motta isn't that good of a fighter. He seems like he's improving. I think he's still pretty young, if I'm not mistaken. How old is Motta? How old? He's 32. He's actually older than I thought he is. So, either way, Sadykhov gets it done. I think he deserves maybe a ranked opponent next or one more like fringe top guy before actually fighting a ranked opponent. But went to war in this fight, put in an exciting performance, seemed like he had smart fight IQ, and he was able to get it done via second round TKO and brutal finish for Nazim Sadykhov. Next fight on the card, we have Tofiq Musayev versus Mukhtar Orolbai. Man, Orolbai dominated him. Kimura first round. He did miss weight. It ended up being a catch weight because apparently Orolbai couldn't make weight. Orolbai threw landed a punch right into a takedown. I think it was like a body kick from Musayev. I think I'm saying his name right. Musayev? Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, took him down, was beating him up. Tofiq basically forced his way back up a little bit, was in the clinch. And eventually there was a moment in the clinch where Tofiq was grabbing inside the glove of Orolbai. And I can't remember who the referee was. The referee stops the action because Musayev's grabbing inside the glove of Orolbai cheating and then breaks them because of it. So gave Tofiq exactly what he wanted because he cheated. So you're giving him an advantage because he cheated. Made absolutely no sense. But either way, Orolbai caught another body kick, landed a punch, and took him down again. Immediately started to latch up to Kimura, submitted him in the first round. Great performance from Mukhtar Orolbai, other than the weight miss, essentially. I know they moved it to a catch weight, but this win's kind of tainted now. You came in essentially 10 pounds overweight. I don't know if that was the actual case, but either way, we'll never know because you didn't weigh in at that weight. You ended up getting moved to a catch weight, which is crazy. Honestly, it's a way to skirt the rules. Does he still lose a portion of his purse? But the grappling looked elite. The Kimura, he latched up to Kimura. There was moments where it seemed like Tofiq was holding onto a guillotine when Orolbai was nowhere close to being in danger, and maybe Orolbai could have latched up a Von Flue choke, but never even tried for it. But great performance other than the weight miss from Orolbai. Ripped his arm off, got the finish in the first round. And I do believe Orolbai is a top 10 talent in the lightweight division if he can actually make the lightweight division. But overall, good win over Tofiq. Orolbai gets it done, first round Kimura. Reminds me of Mateusz Gamrot versus Jeremy Stevens a bit. So he gets it done. Next fight on the card. The featured fight on the card. We have Curtis Blaydes versus Rizvan Kuniev. Man, this pisses me off, man. This actually pisses me off. I don't really care for either one of these guys. The heavyweight division is dead. But I just wanted to show you guys what this body type and this type of beard can do in the heavyweight division. Kuniev was brutally robbed. He lost via split decision. I know people are going to say, Joey, you're glazing the Muslim guys. I'm assuming he's Muslim because he's Russian, but I'm pretty sure that he is. And I'm just going to be honest. I thought Kuniev won all 3 rounds. The only round you can give to Blaydes is round 1. He got an early takedown, but did absolutely nothing with it. Clinched for a little bit. Kuniev kind of grabbed the fence, but really it didn't really affect anything, but he didn't get in trouble for it, but he was grabbing the fence a little bit. After they broke out of the clinch, Blaydes had some of the ugliest shots I've ever seen in my entire life. You could see him coming from a mile away. Kuniev was tagging him on the feet, Blaydes was ducking down, just waiting to eat an uppercut. Blaydes literally did no damage in the first round. Landed nothing at all. Got one takedown and some control time in the first round. That's it. I thought he lost the first round. And I thought that was the only round you could give to Blaydes. Second round, Kuniev stuffing the takedowns, tagging him on the feet. Big right hands, good uppercuts. Just landing flurries, bloodying up Curtis Blaydes. Clearly dominated the second round. And then the third round, Kuniev was tagging him with big shots. Landed a step-in knee. Then had like a flurry up against the fence. And then basically Blaydes started pressuring, landing a couple good shots, and then clinched up and did nothing. Then they broke, and Kuniev started landing good shots again. Second and third round were clear as day for Kuniev. And somehow, the two judges gave it to Curtis Blaydes. Curtis Blaydes has not improved in 10 years. He's been the same fighter forever. He has weak wrestling, or really, really weak actual shots or entries. If he gets you down and lays on top of you, he's very strong and has good ground and pound, but that's really it. He's striking his ass. He's slow, low fight IQ, gets tagged on the chin. Kuniev beat him up, man. Kuniev isn't that good either. Let's be honest. This wasn't like, oh, this was a star-studded performance, but you look at the UFC rankings. Let me actually pull up the UFC rankings real quick. You look at the UFC rankings, Curtis Blaydes is like number 5, man. Let me check it out. Yeah, Curtis Blaydes is number 5. Kuniev's unranked. And he just beat Curtis Blaydes, and now he's getting robbed. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm being dead serious. Curtis Blaydes landed like a couple jabs. Outside of that, he did nothing the entire fight. Literally did nothing the entire fight. It's just, okay, he had a little bit of clinch work. So, there's people out there, you dumb fans, saying, yeah, whenever the UFC goes over to, like, the Middle East or Muslim countries, that the Russian Muslim guys get like favorable judging, right? There's that narrative, even though the event is actually regulated by the UFC and they bring over judges and refs from the States. So the entire narrative makes no sense to begin with. But then Kuniev wins 30-27 and gets brutally robbed. So that narrative is dead. We don't get a heavyweight prospect, which is just funny, man. I mean, this is heavyweight at this point. I mean, believe me, we're going to be talking about heavyweight a lot soon, okay? All right, maybe we'll talk about that a little bit at the end of this video. But yeah, we should have had a new prospect in the top 5 in Kuniev, and the judges robbed us of that. And now my dog is showing up right now. Hold on, let me get it off screen real quick. Let me get my dog in camera right now. What's going on, buddy? What's going on? Somebody comment this timestamp so I can go back and watch it. What's going on, buddy? You got your bow tie on? He's got his bow tie on. Look, see, look what you guys do to me. I gotta spend hours up in my office. I got a family, all right. I got a family. Now he's going for his toy. All right. Anyway, we got robbed of a new prospect. Curtis Blaydes is a scrub. The heavyweight division is garbage. And I'll say this, boys, and this isn't. A lot of people aren't going to be happy about this. This right here, Curtis Blaydes, the guy that just got 30-27 by Kuniev. This is the guy Tom Aspinall beat to get all the hype that he currently has. That combined with Pavlovich, but this is his most recent win. A guy who's losing to an unranked guy who has the same body type as me. But yeah, it is what it is. Nothing we can do now. Book the rematch. They booked this fight like 5 times. They got called off like 5 times. Book the rematch. Let's get Kuniev his rightfully earned victory against Blaydes. Anyway, co-main event time. Rafael Fiziev versus Anasiel Bahamondes. Fiziev wins via unanimous decision. I'll be honest, just to sum up this fight right off the jump, Anasiel Bahamondes lost because of low fight IQ. First round was close. I thought Fiziev won it. He's ripping to the body early, couple good heavy body kicks. Lots of stance switching. It seems like Bahamondes would switch stances and Fiziev would just follow him. So every time they'd switch, they both switch. Fiziev just landed the better shots in the first round. Second round, Bahamondes was landing the better shots. Still a close round. Landing good shots. Was tagging him on the feet. Good punches. Landed some good kicks to the body as well, like side kicks to the body. Grappled early. He actually pushed Fiziev up against the fence and kind of worked him in the clinch a little bit. But not, like, he never really got close to a takedown, but it was just making Fiziev work because Fiziev's biggest hole in his game is his gas tank. And then late in the second round, I thought arguably Bahamondes could have just thrown away the round because Fiziev shot 2 takedowns. And both times, Bahamondes is winning on the feet. Fiziev shoots 2 takedowns, and Bahamondes starts looking for guillotines and basically pulls guard both times. In a close round, and I don't remember what the judges' scorecards were, but in a close round, you can throw the second round that way. Super low fight IQ. Super low fight IQ. Loses the second round. Then the third round, Fiziev was tagging him, winning. It was close. Bahamondes was having some moments in close. But then Bahamondes just kept proceeding to throw wheel kicks over and over and over again. It was like Bahamondes kept punching air, kept kicking air, then just proceeds to throw wheel kicks the entire third round. Like, what are you doing, dude? You could have arguably just won the second round. Instead of trying to use the same recipe you used in the second round, you're like, oh, let me throw wheel kicks that are literally landing on nothing but air. Fiziev easily dodged them. He saw him coming a mile away. And then late in the fight, he threw a wheel kick, got taken down, and got full mounted by Fiziev. Fiziev did a little bit damage. Up until this point, it was kind of a close round. I edged Fiziev. But dude's just throwing wheel kicks, spamming wheel kicks over and over and over again. Bahamondes gets taken down, full mounted, beaten up a little bit. He was throwing elbows off his back, and then Fiziev let him up again. I think off the first takedown, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. Yeah, it was late. He was tagging Fiziev. Fiziev looked for a takedown. He went for a guillotine again, but it was also good timing on Fiziev. He started throwing elbows from the bottom instead of actually getting up. He had a closed guard. Then when he got up, he immediately threw a wheel kick, got taken back down right in a full mount, and lost the third round. So Bahamondes still young. Fight IQ is not looking too good, man. It's really just not looking too good. How are you just going to spam wheel kick after wheel kick after wheel kick? And also looking for guillotines nonstop. Like, dude, this ain't Jalen Turner. This is not Jalen Turner. This is Rafael Fiziev. So Bahamondes doesn't get his ranking now. You know how John Anik's always like, he'll get a ranking come Monday. Get this guy a ranking. Nope. And I was high on Bahamondes too. I still think he's good, but Fiziev taught him that there's levels to this game. Fiziev Gamrot should be next. I want to see that rematch. We had a fluky ending to it. I'd love to see Rafael Fiziev versus Mateusz Gamrot next. In the lightweight division, that would be an absolute banger. But, man, Fiziev took on a dangerous challenge against Bahamondes, and he was able to go out there and win. I think Bahamondes can still get better. I don't think, I know some people are probably like, oh, he's a fraud. He's a fraud. He didn't beat the best opposition, but I still think he showed he had the skills. He just needs a little bit better fight IQ to be able to compete with the top 15. Next fight on the card, main event. Main event, Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree. What do I even say about this fight? What is my analysis of this fight? I mean, I don't think I'm really going to break it down too much round by round. It was a domination by Khalil Rountree. I thought Jamahal Hill maybe squeaked out the first round. He was landing good leg kicks himself. They were both trading leg kicks. First minute of the fight, they both stared at each other. Jamahal Hill landed a couple good punches. Rountree landed a good body kick, but really was missing with punches. And I thought Jamahal Hill just did the better work in the first round, but it was very close. After that, essentially Rountree just brutally chopped his legs. Second round, brutally chopping his legs, nothing else. Jamahal Hill was like squared up, following him with his muffin top. And I mean, it was just, I don't even know what to say. Second round, his legs just started getting brutally chopped. Third round, got dropped multiple times. Jamahal Hill got dropped multiple times. Jamahal was just kind of trying to chase him down, and then Khalil would explode and drop him. I think he dropped him 2 or 3 times in the third round. I think he dropped him in the fourth round as well. And then it was just basically Jamahal fighting out of orthodox when he's a southpaw. Khalil went away from the leg kicks after the second and like early third. He still threw him sparingly, but then he just would tag him on the feet. It seemed like Khalil was definitely trying to stall a bit. But at the end of the day, he's showed up to win. Jamahal was bitching afterwards like, dude, you got dominated. Throw more. Like when Jamahal was throwing straight shots, he was actually landing some good shots. There was a moment where he like tagged him, I think, in the third round. And it was like, oh, Khalil might be hurt here. Stung him a little bit. Not like brutally rocked or anything. But it's because his legs got taken away in that second round. His legs were gone after the second round. And then to throw, real salt in the wound for a shit main event, by the way. Both guys, I don't want to crap on Khalil too much. So I'll crap on Jamahal. Jamahal then goes, while they're reading the decision, looks all shocked at the decision, like he thought he maybe wins. It's 2 50-45s and a 49-46, all acceptable scorecards. Jamahal got outworked. Jamahal Hill, super overrated. I think I was a victim of a reverse bias. I really didn't like Jamahal Hill for a long time now, back even when it was an unpopular opinion. And I think I convinced myself I thought he sucked a bit because I didn't like him, so then I would pick him. But also I think Khalil's kind of overrated too. I still think he's overrated. Jamahal Hill shows up every fight camp with a muffin top. He's flat-footed, he's plotty, and Khalil's just lighter on the feet, just chopped the legs, man. I thought Khalil got a participation trophy against Pereira. So I said, you know what? I think Jamal's going to beat him up on the feet. He has the better boxing. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter because Khalil just needed the leg kick at range. Imagine being so shitty and one-dimensional, and I'm talking about Jamahal Hill here, that a dude can just beat you with leg kicks. Didn't check a fucking one of them. Didn't check a one of them. And what's even crazier is these are the guys, Jamahal Hill and Khalil Rountree, these are the guys that are padding Alex Pereira's resume. These are the guys that he beat where everyone's like, yeah, man, he's a GOAT. Man, he's pound for pound #1. Neither one of these guys are that good. Light heavyweight looks like absolute garbage. But Jamahal Hill, you beat up your brother on Thanksgiving, you knock his teeth down your throat, you go on a 3-fight losing streak. Jamahal Hill's career is literally over. It's literally over. I'm not high on Khalil even after this performance. I think a lot of the top guys beat him. He's better than I thought for sure. I definitely underestimated him a little bit. But I really think Jamahal Hill, he just was kind of he benefited from circumstances. If Ankalaev was never robbed against Jan Blachowicz at UFC 282, Jamahal Hill doesn't get to fight an aging, retiring, worn down, post-Yuri War Glover Teixeira to win the most fraudulent light heavyweight title. It's not Pereira, it's Jamahal Hill. And then go on a 3-fight losing streak after he beats up his brother at Thanksgiving, nonetheless. Who's Jamahal Hill beating, man? I'm ashamed that I picked him, man. Again, I was a victim of reverse bias. Rountree chopped those legs. Rountree light on his feet. Rountree talking about Ank afterwards. Ank would smoke him. Dustin Jacoby was robbed against Khalil Rountree. And while Khalil Rountree has improved a bit, I don't think it's that much. I just think Jamahal Hill was overrated because he was a UFC champion. Jamahal Hill will never be on the top again. Could not adjust at all. Salty after the Pereira loss. He can't blame this loss on Herb Dean. He blamed Herb. Oh, Herb started the fight and didn't let us reset, and that's why I got KO'd by Pereira. All those salty-ass excuses. Now his career is literally over. Damn. And, I want to just, revel in that a little bit, but I don't even, it's light heavyweight division. I wish it was better. How long is Ank going to reign? Who beats Ank? Please tell me, and I'm not being biased at all. Who beats him? Yuri basically has the best chance to beat him by fluke and a KO. Pereira ain't beating him. Rountree isn't beating him. Hill isn't beating him, obviously. At this point, I would take Carlos Ulberg over Jamahal Hill. So, Jamahal Hill really stunk it up in the main event. It literally felt like an Apex main event in a bit. So, maybe they'll give Jamahal Hill an Apex fight. If Pereira loses again to Ankalaev, give me Hill Pereira too. Let's right the wrongs. Let's get a good storyline. Oh, Pereira, the Herb Dean stoppage. Pereira would beat the dog shit out of Hill again. I'm embarrassed of that pick. I used to think, maybe he did just clip him, even though it was a bad excuses from Hill. I used to think, it didn't really play out. We didn't get to really see. Pereira would beat the dog shit out of Hill. If they fought 10 times, Pereira wins every single time. So, really bad performance from Hill. I don't blame Khalil Rountree at all. It was a boring main event. It wasn't that bad, honestly. But Rountree has nothing to be ashamed of, to be quite honest, because if you can just leg kick a dude at range and he can't do nothing else, he can't do anything, can't tag you, can't do nothing, that's his fault. That's his fault. So Jamahal Hill loses his fight in the main event of UFC Baku. He flies halfway across the world to get dominated by Khalil Rountree, gets bloodied up, gets dropped multiple times, and then acts shocked by the decision. Go beat up your brother some more. Why don't you, Jamal? And then at the post-fight, Dana White dropping the bomb that we all already knew. John Jones is retired. I'm going to do a video on that. As soon as that video is done, I will tag it in the end cards of this video. Also, I did horrible on predictions. You guys can revel in that. I went 4 out of 12. I got 4 out of 12. I got Ulanbekov, Naimov, Sadykhov, and Orolbai, correct? You guys can revel in that, considering up until last week, I had not had a bad night of predictions for this entire year. I'm at almost 70%. Tracked on Tapology. Okay, it's not, I'm betting on the dogs. I got 10 units on the dogs. I got no evidence to prove it. I'm 100%. I'm hitting on my dogs. The dogs are barking. Almost 70% on Tapology. You can look up my name. You can look at 2025 predictions. So, revel in that. 4 out of 12. Azerbaijan. I'm butchering that. UFC Baku, Fight Night Baku. Horrible picks. I am genuinely surprised that Khalil Rountree dog walked Jamahal Hill in the fashion that he did. It's the first time I'm really caught off guard. This year, at least. I did not expect this at all. I thought Jamahal Hill was much better. But being flat-footed, not winning a fight in years, making nothing but excuses, beating up your brother at the Thanksgiving dinner table is not a good base. It's not a good base. But, yeah, guys, we got a lot to talk about. We got International Fight Week coming up. We got John Jones retiring. We got Dana White crying, basically, at the post-fight presser. Man, shame on Dana and the UFC for what they did to Francis Ngannou. They deserve all of it. They deserve all of it. Tom Aspinall, new undisputed heavyweight champion. But what are we even doing with the heavyweight division? Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next video.